How's it going? Quarantine, you know, affects people differently, you know. Don't judge me. I thought I would make a video anyway. How's it going? Welcome to another video. I'm doing this inside the house because I had great intention of doing this outside. In fact, I didn't do it outside. I had to go out and do some shopping, and I took my wife's car for a little run, and went to a nice big car park, nobody around, and had the camera. Anyway, it started raining, and then the wind picked up, and wow, it dawned on me that I hadn't actually, in a sense of continuity, I hadn't actually provided a video in relation to the current lockdown. Well, I didn't really explain how things had transitioned to this point. And not that I suppose that I feel that I have to, but it meant that I had stuff. It means I could release videos that have a bit of substance attached to it, because the videos I was doing had a certain viewer. The lockdown lowdowns, they're having a certain viewer, and then I've done this creator spotlight video, which has got a certain viewer as well. And then my very last video there was just because the local lad, Dave, that dresses up as Spider-Man and then runs around all the estates, was actually quite nice because he came down our street. You know, and as a filmmaker, I thought I'd throw the camera together and, you know, give him a little something to remember him by. And so I launched it. So people are probably wondering, you know, what's this guy's niche all about? And in fairness, niche goes right out the window in this respect. I thought I would split it up until this point. So before the lockdown, work was still a bit thin on the ground. Coming out of the winter always still is always a bit weird in the film and TV industry, and this year's been a bit weirder. But then as the coronavirus started to spread and come across, we all knew what was coming, and you know, the inevitable did happen. And my last job was to go into Edinburgh to film at the start of the lockdown. So on the first day, I went in to do some filming. You'll have seen from that intro how kind of dark it was, and how kind of sinister and eerie it is when a capital city of Scotland is that empty. You know, it's quite weird. So pretty much after that, then that was it. my wife and I had taken the decision when we heard the schools were closing that we would just not bother sending the kids to school. I think we took the decision on the Thursday, the school closed on the Friday. I think no, the decision was made on the Wednesday, and then we just didn't take them to school on the Thursday, and then that's been us. So as of making this video, we're on day 15 of our lockdown, and we've not had any signs, we're not showing any signs, but I guess every time I go out to the shops, the lockdown resets itself, so we're just very, very careful about what we're doing. In this time when you've got all this free time, it's actually amazing how much time you don't actually have. Now, I can't speak for everybody, but I certainly know that having 2 kids under the age of 6 in this house, you are, you have to constantly think. You're thinking on your feet all the time. As soon as you wake up in the morning, right through the day, you've got to cover your lunches, dinners, playtimes, snacks, and entertainment, and TV time, and educational time. There's a lot of stuff going on there, and my wife and I are both trying to tag in and out as best we can and make sure the kids get the best out of this time, because while they might not fully know what's going on, they are noticing that they're in the house a lot and that we're not going to places we normally would, like the grandparents or the swimming pool or the play park and all these kind of things. So we've got to tentatively deal with these things. The main reason for making this video was just to help me create a timeline in my head and on my channel to show what happened. I didn't at any point want to be one of these creators that tells everybody what they should and shouldn't do during this time, because I'm very aware that everybody's different. And I have noticed online a very great divide. Creators like myself, who are in the lower end of the bracket, we do it for a hobby. We don't do it for the fame and the fortune and all the other kind of stuff. We don't do it for all those things. But us, the people that you'll see that I shout out in my channel, or the people I've linked to in the Creator Spotlight, all these people, there's hundreds of them, thousands of them making great content, and they've got all this time now to go and just throw their energy at it, and it's actually quite refreshing to watch. But the flip side of that is that all the bigger creators, or the ones that you would normally sit and watch and feel inspired by, or the ones that make you want to go and do something, they're not really putting out the content that they used to. They're actually struggling to put out content because they can't go anywhere. And I find that quite interesting, because these are people who have made a channel or a living off the back of social media, and now when they've come to a point where social media is really, really required for the transfer of information or entertainment or whatever, those are the ones that aren't putting out the videos as often. The ones that are putting the videos out as often, well, the content's not great, and it almost seems like they're doing it just because they know several million viewers will watch it, and therefore they'll gain some coin at the end of it, which I find quite tragic and sad. And what brought it home for me more was the fact that I saw this kind of weird article about YouTubers in America trying to claim money from the government for loss of business as a freelancer. I thought, well, that's just gone too far, because that's not really the same thing, freelancers and YouTubers. Because if you've got quite a sizable amount of community online, you surely get paid through your views, and then there is no loss of income, because if you keep putting content out, you'll keep getting income, and invariably any sponsors are digital sponsors, so there's no real physical need to distance yourself from it, unless you're distancing yourself from your camera, in which case just use a longer focal length. So it kind of made me laugh a little bit, and that the real societal problems really do show themselves now. Certainly from the UK standpoint, I feel it's only really now that people are starting to take notice. Certainly that governments, religion, famous people, these are not the people that are fixing these problems. It's the everyday people, the frontline key workers, NHS doctors, paramedics, police, fire, anybody on the ground, all these people that help facilitate the infrastructure of a country are still out there doing their thing. And the people with all the say-so and all the money all kind of went quiet and they've all disappeared. And I find that quite alarming as well. Making videos for me means that whatever content I put out, I think there's somebody somewhere who's watching it and then, you know, being quite happy about that. And that's the trade-off for me. So if somebody enjoys my content in my spare time that I make, that they can watch in their spare time, it's a trade-off. And I don't want anything from that. I'm just doing it because I think it might help, or it might spur someone else on to do something. So yeah, there's been quite a lot going on, and I just feel I didn't bridge the gap. It just went from standard content to pandemic, and then all these little short daily videos. And on that, the lockdown, lowdown videos, I do enjoy doing them. Because for me, history's one of those things where if you don't talk about it or you don't share it, then it gets forgotten about really, really quickly. And I was just trying to splice the narrative of history with everyday news and just, you know, just general comedy entertainment was what I was going with. However, when I sit down to write down my script for it, because I do write a script for it, because I'll need to write down all the facts. Some I do know, some I don't know, but I am doing a bit of research prior to my videos. But what I was noticing was that when I'm looking back in history, and you're going back, you know, hundreds and hundreds of years, not all the history is really that positive. And I was trying to make those videos a little bit positive, a bit upbeat, a bit funny, just a skit between, you know, a couple of minutes long. But some days I've missed out because I haven't done one for a couple of days now, and that's the reason why, because it just so happened that on these recent days in history, absolutely everything's happened, whether it be wars and invasions and deaths and destruction and pandemics and viruses and all the things you don't really want to hear. Anyway, that's it for this video. I thought I would intersplice it with some work that I've done, you know, a little bit of fun, things that I've been doing around the house. On the back of all that, as a freelancer myself, I don't have any income. I don't have any additional income, and all my work comes from working within TV production or clients that require a media-based creative director. So I'm getting no work out of this at all. But if you like my channel and you'd like to support it, then I've got a couple of shops open. One where you can buy some prints if you'd like to buy some prints of my work. And the other one is for digital content, for LUTS and motion graphic templates for Premiere Pro. The digital content is a bit of a cliche, LUTS and all that kind of stuff and presets, and I don't really believe in it, but I wanted to give something out anyway. So I've set up the shop with a suggested price. You don't have to pay for them. You can download them for free if you wish, but you know, price of a cup of coffee is always nice, and I didn't really want to do the cliched coffee one or the Patreon one where I don't really have anything to offer, but just figured I've got some stuff, I can give you them stuff. If you wanted to give me something for it, I'll give you a virtual hug and I'll blow you a kiss. Thanks for your continued support. I will get back to editing because I've got a whole host of stuff to do now. Thank you for watching. I will see you all in the next video.